Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of the Spiritual Inspired Show. I am your host, Claudiu Murgan. For previous episodes, please visit Auraverse Network, spiritualinspired.ca, and our YouTube channel. My guest today is Shannon Howard, and we will talk about hypnotherapy, mediumship, quantum healing, and more. So, Shannon, thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
You have such a wide range of experience in alternative healing, but I want to start with a question about your childhood. As a child, you sense a presence in your room, but stayed quiet about it because of your Catholic upbringing. What do you remember about deciding, even that young, that this wasn't something you could talk about?
Yeah, so that experience, it was something that was very scary for me. As you said, I grew up Catholic. I was the youngest of six children. I watched a lot of horror movies at a young age, so my imagination was pretty amazing. And what I saw, what I conceptualized, it happened at night when I went to bed. And to me, it looked like it was more of a sense. It was like this hazy cloud. And honestly, from all of my experiences, I thought it was something that was going to take me to hell. And things were kind of chaotic being in a house with eight people. As you can imagine, there were a lot of personalities in that household, and there was a lot of stress. And I think without realizing it, I just knew I didn't feel safe to bring that up to anyone, nor did I want to put that on anyone else's shoulders. So that's when I blocked my sensing, so to speak.
Interesting. And you said that the presence you used to sense vanished after your 21-year-old brother died during your early high school years. Why do you think grief closed that door instead of opening it up further?
So I believe now with my current purview, I believe that he saw that I was scared and he helped take that spirit away because I learned later with my gift that that was actually a previous owner in the house who was trying to understand why we were there. So that was my overall sensing. I knew from a young age that there was something more. And when that happened, it showed me that I wasn't alone. And I still moved forward based on what I was taught, right? I still moved forward. I put it beyond me, but it always stayed with me and had a pivotal effect in where I am now and what I do now.
Yes. And what's your relationship with the Catholic Church these days? Are you embracing your skills or you are still away from it because they won't understand what you are doing?
Yeah, so one very good point that I want to bring up is I found someone, all of my family members, the women in my family after my brother died, someone brought us a book called Embraced by the Light by Betty Eady. And in that book, I really resonated with it because it was about her life after death experience. And she said in that book, if my memory is correct, that every religion is a different stepping stone towards God. And while I'm no longer a practicing Catholic, I still believe. I believe in that. I truly believe every religion is a different stepping stone because all of us are different. We all have different beliefs, but we all have an energetic spirit, a consciousness within us.
Yes, and in again, my humble opinion, if we, which are outside of a structured or religious structure, have certain experiences, doesn't diminish our belief in gospel, in the teachings of Jesus, or in God. In fact, I think it enhances our beliefs because of the experience we have, while those who are just going to the church and they want to apply what they are being told for some reason don't feel the same.
Right. I completely agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. Shannon, in life, early or later in life, we all think that our real purpose here is to save the world. And I'm sure you had that same goal in your mind at one point in your life. So how did you start to tell the difference between real purpose and the story you'd built your identity around?
Right. So being a biologist for so many years, I did put the world on my shoulders. Based on the experiences I had as a child, I sought love in nature. I didn't know I was doing it, but that nature was my solace. That's where I felt true love. So naturally, when I hear these stories, the world's in trouble, I put that on my shoulders and I became a biologist. And it was, oh gosh, I think it was back in 2016, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And that it was such an intense experience for me because I felt like a victim. The medication that I was put on would eventually cause blindness, but I was told, don't worry, that's the best medication you can be on with the least amount of side effects. So it made me seek every avenue for healing. So I found Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, QHHT, and in one session, I went into remission after one session. So that was the pivotal point that created the shift to bring me back to see, okay, there's more than what meets the eye. And through my journey, through that, finding a coach myself, I began to realize, and through my channeling ability, okay, the world doesn't need saving. It needs us to remember who we are because the earth is seeking balance and we are a key to that balance.
And can you share with us what exactly happened during that session then turn your life around?
Yes, of course. So in that session, I learned I didn't love myself. I didn't value who I was. I was looking to prove my value by saving something. And I learned that I already had inherent value, and we all do. And when we carry this weight we're not meant to carry, our body naturally gives us signals that, hey, something's out of balance. And before you know it, that could turn from a small little signal to a Mack truck. So for me, my Mack truck was rheumatoid arthritis. And when I began to love myself again and go inward and really focus on what wasn't working for me, that's when everything began to shift.
And you are a practitioner right now, am I correct?
hmm Yes, I'm a soul channel hypnotherapist and sacred coach.
And do you do these sessions in person or online?
Both in person and online.
And you know, there are people who are afraid to do it online. They think they might get hooked on the other side and never come back. How do you address this concern?
Yes, so the QHHT modality I do, that's actually in person. The regular regression modality I can do online. The channeling I can do online, the coaching I can do online. And it's very safe. You so if we're energy in a body, we all share a consciousness, right? That goes beyond space and time. So, us exchanging this conversation right now, we're sharing an energy, we're exchanging an energy. It's the same in the sessions. The people who have online sessions have just as powerful of an experience as those who have it in person.
Yes, interesting. And you offer both sacred coaching and pet soul connection sessions. You know, one is aimed at person's inner world, the other at communicating with an animal, often one who's already passed. What do those two very different offerings have in common in how you actually work?
Great question. Thank you for asking. So, the pet soul connection, people usually come to fix a problem. So, their pet's sick, or they're doing a behavior they don't understand, or they just want to connect with their pet more fully. or their pet has passed and they want to know, did I make the right decision? And they're just trying to find some solace and connection. So the pets, what actually happens in those sessions that's really beautiful, because I'm connecting with their higher soul consciousness, the information that comes through is so amazing. It's pure love. And the pets often coach their owners, which is really beautiful. And those sessions include a pet soul connection meditation so that people have something they can take with them and connect with their pet on an ongoing basis if they so choose. But with the coaching, it's similar in that it's energy work, it's hypnosis, it's channeling, it's everything that person needs. So I take all of my modalities and put it into one, but it's more focused on the individual and where they're at right now so they can live a life that they love. And it's all about resonance. So the pet connection is a way of bringing people in to this bigger overarching purview that they're bigger than what they may think they are. And the coaching is a way to go even deeper into their own path on a soul level.
Thank you. And now that we are still at the pet soul discussion, if you can share with us, do you know and do you access your power animal? And who is your power animal?
Good question. So my power animal, if you would look at it as a guide for me that's been with me through lifetimes that I've learned is an owl. It's been with me for a very long time. So the term power animal for me, that's more of a guide. An animal that's there to support me and evolve and grow with me, if that makes sense. I also do totem animal embodiment sessions, which that's more, I say a totem animal, but it's more an animal your soul is calling in for you to embrace your innate gifts and let go of what you don't need so it aligns you to your path. So that's another modality I use. So they're a little bit more nuanced, but
Yeah. And did you have sessions where the client had his own pet cat or dog around and you notice anything from the pet, any thoughts that would have said, this silly master of mine is doing this type of session? And did you convey that message or what did it happen?
so great question. So I've done these sessions with pets present quite a few times, and I'll start before the session. So often when a client books a pet soul connection session and their pet is still with them, they notice their pet's behavior changes. Maybe their pet gets a little more clingy, more loving, more excited. One session I did with two golden retrievers was I arrived. She told me about this excitement. They were kind of bouncing off the walls in a really fun way. And she said, the client, she said that that was not normal. And they were just, I was perceiving and picking up, they were really excited because your pets want to communicate in this way. They want us to see that they have a higher consciousness than we realize. They have more wisdom than they realize. And in that session, they were excited the whole time. And then when we finished, they both laid down. They were done. They got what they needed. So they're really fun to do for people.
Yeah, but do you think that these days people get these animals just as pets? They don't think a little bit beyond that, that they have consciousness and they should try to communicate with them at a different level?
Yes, I do, but I also know we all have free will, right? So I believe we have a soul just like our pets have a soul. And I believe on a soul level, our pets chose us just as we chose them. So we're learning and growing together. So It's all about resonance, but I truly believe that our pets are helping open our hearts, and it's up to us whether or not we want to believe that or not, to act on that or not.
Yeah, interesting. And Shannon, since you choose this path, have you done any readings for your family members?
Yes, several.
And how did they react?
So it's been really fun. I know I'm really stretching my family members in a lot of ways, but they have all met me with love and they've rolled with it. My nieces have really jumped on the bandwagon, so to speak, and are loving the sessions that I do for them when they choose to have a session. My sister, interestingly enough, she's been on this path with me, so we have each other we can talk to and practice on and just share. So I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, it's definitely a journey, as I'm sure you have been on yours. And it's really fun and exciting to just flow with it.
Yes, interesting. You also spent 20 years as a biologist. So, how was that transition for you from science, from something which is very strict? And I had a similar discussion with Dr. Bruce Limpton, which was a trailblazer in terms of biology and his book, Biology of Belief.
Mhm.
How it was for you to move from that strict, regimented environment to something which is so fluid?
So yeah, that was a journey as well. When I started really waking up to this, to consciousness, having more conscious awareness, and my path started to shift. Things at work, I grew up there at that facility. I grew up there. I loved my job. I loved what I did, but it started shifting. I started feeling like I didn't belong. And thankfully, I was aware of what was going on. I was feeling myself leaving, and I just flowed in that process. It was an up and down process. But I saw, okay, I'm growing out of this space. It's time for me to move on and let someone else fill my place so they can learn and grow there as well. And having worked with animals on that level, I have, and working with them now on this level, on more of a spiritual level, I have so much more appreciation to why we're all here. So animals are naturally here. They're present. They don't have to prove themselves. They do. We, with our minds, often feel we have to prove ourselves. So animals are constantly a mirror and they're teaching us every single day. So to have this dual experience, if you will, on both sides, it just feels really balanced. And I'm so grateful to be here and have this ability.
And have you worked with wild animals as well?
Yes, yes. So my specialty was jellies, seahorses, octopus, sea turtles. I worked with several different types of animals.
Wow, and how it is to work with the bigger ones like the octopus or maybe dolphins. I don't know if you mentioned dolphins or no, but
Yeah, so I haven't worked with dolphins. I've viewed them, I've connected with them on an energetic level. But these animals, let's say the octopus, for example. So when you talk about energy, an octopus, working with them in physical, an octopus likes to use force. It uses force first, physical force, before it starts to use its brain. And it's very smart, as we know, for a cephalopod, very smart. So on the flip side, on an energetic level, they actually have almost a power complex, not a complex, but it shows me where they are on a soul level. So an octopus feels very different than, let's say, a seahorse. A seahorse is almost angelic. And in captivity, seahorses are actually very, very delicate. They can get sick very easily. They're just such an angelic animal, and it just shows you there's a different consciousness to every species, and that's what I tap into in the work I do with animals.
And have you had the curiosity to ask them if they were created here on Earth or they were brought over by other entities?
So I did not ask that question, but I really felt that way about octopus especially. But that's a question I could ask. That would be a great one.
Because I know I heard from other people that dolphins and whales came or they're brought here. They're not, they didn't evolve on Earth. They are so ancient that they had to be brought over with certain, DNA sequence, and we kind of evolved from that as well. But, a story for a different time.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll just tell you really quickly, I am working on an Oracle deck that will have a book along with it. Um, and I'm channeling different animals, and what's coming through is a teaching. So each animal has a different resonance and has a different teaching to share. So while I'm not tuning into, I resonate with what you're saying and I agree, but this is more all about the earth and bringing balance to the earth, and every single species has something to teach us and why we're here and what we're being called to do. And that's all about alignment and balance.
Yeah, and because you are a soul channel, do you also channel other races known to us from books, not from other physical encounters?
Yes, so sometimes they will come in, but I am very clear on the fact that I am of this earth and I am here to serve the earth. So that's come into me several times, and I do know that there are other beings out there, and some will come into me naturally in meditation, but my focus right now is really serving the earth and humanity as a whole.
And do you know your soul family?
Yes, I do. That's something I'm still exploring. I know I've got an army around me. Certain individuals have been very up close and personal in my face, but that's something I'm still exploring and excited to learn more about.
Nice. And what's your next for you professionally? How do you want to evolve?
So, right now, I'm calling in more clients. I love to help people. It fills my cup to work with people and see the shifts. And my goal is to help people navigate the same type of shifts that I myself has have gone through. And from here, maybe in the future, it'll be teaching. I'm so excited about this Oracle deck that comes out. I'm excited to write books. So the possibilities are endless, and I'm just here to flow wherever this path takes me.
Shannon, thank you very much. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we end our lovely conversation?
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and to be here today. And if anyone resonates with my message and wants to find out more, they can go to my website at shannonmhoward.com.
Thank you very much for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to my viewers, thank you for sharing. Leave a comment. And until next time, love and gratitude.